Welcome to the WealthGenius Podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The WealthGenius Podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The WealthGenius Podcast with your host, the godfather of real estate, Alfonso, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The WealthGenius Podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
Jan.
Alfonso.
I don't know if I told you this, but I remember you coming to one of my events and like first thing in the morning, and I'm saying one of my best jokes. And your laugh in the room, I was like, I love this person.
I don't laugh because I'm so loud when I laugh.
Oh my God.
I'm known
it's
for
so
that.
Infectious.
Yeah.
It's so infectious and fun. And, you know, it's like people talk about dance like no one's watching.
Yeah.
Laugh like no one's watching, you know, and, you know, you just, you know, let out this laugh. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be really good friends.
So I've been known for my laugh like forever. People always say, you know, it could be a full auditorium. Oh, Jan's here laughing over there. And it's not, it's just very genuine.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's endearing. And, you know, the second I met you, it's like we were connected, right? And, I love it. It's like, it's someone that just kind of lets loose, right? Cause there's people that are in a setting, like a workshop, or an event, you don't know people in the room, you know, people kind of like are a little bit more reserved, but you just let it out. I love it. And, we've known each other for a while. You're a huge part of our community. You're a community leader in Windsor, and you're doing a lot of amazing things, and you have an amazing story. So I want to go back. To that story of how you got here. How did you become, you know, this real estate investor, you know, properties, vendor take-backs, creative financing, all the things that you do, because it's not normal for everyone, right? So, you know, how did you get here?
Well, business owner, self-employed all my life. Financing has always been a challenge for me, being self-employed.
Have you been in business all your life?
All my life.
So never
all
had
my
a
life.
job? Something when
I
you were a
started,
kid.
When I was 10, I started with a paper route. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I liked having my own money and, you know, like giving good service, get better tips, you know.
So when you were young, did you feel that you were going to have your own business? Is that what you wanted to do?
Well, I didn't realize it, but yeah, I guess I did. Funny story. I had a conversation with my dad on the weekend, and he had a 12-unit building when I was young teenager, and we were talking about he sold it when he moved, and I said, well, Dad, you know, you could have had a property manager and kept it, and you know, he told me, he said, you know, when I bought it, one of my friends said to me, Al, not big enough. Because it was 12 units. You need to go 20 or larger, right? Mm-hmm. Which we learned. And I thought, how did he know that? And then another funny story, when he sold it, he gave the guy a vendor take back.
Wow.
Second mortgage. Because his lawyer friend said to him, you know, to make this deal happen. I'm like, you knew about all that stuff back then.
You didn't tell me.
Right? So, and I mean, he didn't belong to any groups like this. He just had that kind of mindset. Right? And so I guess maybe he's passed that on to me. Yeah. So he planted the seed.
So this was happening all around you.
Mm-hmm.
You were maybe aware of it, but not aware of it. But at some point in the back of your mind, you said to yourself, you know, like, this is interesting to have a property or be a business owner, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I was always a business owner, single mom. So I was, you know, busy raising my kids and getting them, to their activities and giving them life opportunities.
So they don't lose an arm or a leg or something.
Yeah. No, we did go skydiving together,
Yeah.
But no. So then finally, my youngest just graduated, 8 years of university.
Wow.
But I wanted to give them the opportunities. But then it was the realization of, like I need some kind of secondary income source. So I bought my first rental property I was 55 when I bought it, and
so like last year.
Oh no, that's 5 years in the future. Yeah. So
God bless you. You look great. I wouldn't have
you.
given you like more like in the 40s. Like
thank you. Yeah, no, most people don't think, and I don't think I'm my age. It's a mindset thing, right?
And when you laugh that hard, it means that you're enjoying life. And then when you enjoy life, that keeps you young.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Life's a party every day.
Yeah.
Right. So, I bought that with creative financing, got a private mortgage, used a line of credit, not a HELOC, just a regular line of credit and investment card with, 0% as the down payment.
So you did a vendor take back?
No, it wasn't. That was a private mortgage. On the first one was a private mortgage. Yeah. And so essentially used none of my own money. And then COVID happened.
Wow.
So, I'm a salon owner, right? COVID was not good for salon owners, and being the only, income earner in the house, like it was pretty tough. However, I took the opportunity at that time. I had a lot of time to be able to learn, join investor groups, and really dive into how am I going to scale this. I need to learn from the masters to shorten time.
Compress time.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yes. So now fast forward 3 years, I refinanced my first property that I bought for $285, pulled out $350 3 years later. So paid out the private mortgage and paid back everything, right? So now I've got $350. I found on Kijiji, off market, a mixed use commercial, and negotiated a vendor take back.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 75% vendor take back, and I was using the.
Have you ever asked this before?
What's that?
Like a vendor take back. You might have heard about it before. You said your dad had done it before.
Yeah, but I didn't even know that. I knew about it. I love the strategy, and I knew the guys that were selling it. Like money wasn't an issue for them. So I thought I'll negotiate it, right? But I also knew I wanted to do a major renovation on it. So I wanted to add a secondary or another suite.
Yeah.
Part of it was a 4-bedroom house. I completely gut renoed, separated, water, utilities, everything. And like 2 new kitchens, like everything's brand new. So added another unit. So I wanted some time to stabilize it. So I asked for 2 years interest only.
Beautiful.
So I've got 5 years.
So there's cash flow coming. There's more cash flow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, because I knew for part of the time
you wanted to renovate it.
It was going to be
bleeding a little bit.
Exactly. So I could easily cover the cost. So I'm just over a year and have hugely increased the NOI, brought up the value of the building. I just did some calculations, $552,000.
Nice.
So now I have the choice because I still have almost a full year at interest only payments. I have the choice whether I want to refi and then I've got another 3 years with principal and interest at 4%. So it just depends on how I want to float it, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, for someone that's listening to this podcast and, we're talking about seller financing, VTB, it sounds exciting to a lot of people, right? So from your perspective, when you're approaching a situation where you were about to offer a VTB, what are like some tips that you can offer someone to look out for? What are things to look out for? How do you approach the subject matter with the seller?
Well, you have to ask a lot of questions. See, this was off market, right? So these negotiations went on for about 6 months before the actual offer was in place. So there was several meetings. So you get to know them. You get to know their pain points. Like, what I knew money was not an issue for these guys. Like, they weren't trying to make a quick buck or anything like that. So, I just, slowly started introducing the situation. They had done a vendor take-back mortgage before. And ironically, I was the one that told them that they could defer their capital gains, and they didn't believe me. They says, "Oh no, they had their little Italian accountant, that was he didn't even know about it." And I'm like pulling it up on Google. I'm like, "No, you need to go back and talk to him." And they're like, "No, the last time we did it, like we had to write a check right on closing." And I'm like, "Okay, like you're, but so I started giving them a little bit of information, and they thought I was crazy when I told them what I was going to do with the reno. They're like, "Jan, how long will it take you to, get that money back that you're putting into that?" But so very smart men. One's an oral surgeon, another one's a dentist, and third one's a teacher. So they're very smart, but they're not investor savvy, right? Like, they don't know.
And this was privately, right? There was no agent involved.
No agent involved. So these were just one-on-one conversations, which is the best way to do it, because you don't play that telephone game, right? Where agent to seller. So it was, it really worked out well.
And so when you created the terms, how did you come up with the terms? And, what type of negotiations did you do? Did they accept it right away?
No, there was some back and forth for sure.
And what were some of the terms?
Initially?
Yeah. What was the ultimate concluded terms?
So 5 years, 75% vendor take back at 4% interest, and I negotiated 2 of the 5 years to be interest-only payments.
Beautiful. And then at the end of the 5 years, does it renew?
I could. Yeah.
So there's a renewal
clause in there.
It's so important because you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years from now, right?
Exactly.
You might need to renew it, extend it for whatever reason. Rules change, this and that, the other.
Right.
So it's great that you have that renewal
clause in there.
In there, it's great. What is the exit for you? Refi?
Yeah, to refi. Yeah, totally to refi. Yeah, buy and hold. So now it's 5 residential, 2 commercial. I should tell you the story about the commercial tenants too.
Well, I was going to get to that because this property has 2 commercial spaces, right?
Correct.
So at the bottom, so it's mixed use. On the top, you got residential.
And behind, actually, yeah.
So we don't often talk about it, and people ask me the question, and I will say, well, commercial is another game, another story. So what I was going to ask you is, what have you learned now that you own these 2 commercial spots with not a tenant, but you have a tenant business owner, which is completely different.
Right. Yeah. Right. So when I acquired the property, now the house, they had just evicted those tenants. These guys were awful at vetting tenants. I'm not going to lie. So I asked that they leave it vacant so that I could do the renovations, right? Actually, it was delayed a little bit again, the closing, because another tenant had an eviction notice and they were waiting for the sheriff, and it was put off a few days.
So these guys were they've had it with this property.
Yeah. They were just putting bodies in there so that I think they could sell it. I'm not really sure. But anyways, they weren't. I know they had some other properties and not good tenant stories. So the commercial, Same guy, renting both. One was a smaller little kind of ice cream coffee shop. The other one was a restaurant. No business plan whatsoever. Nice guy. I'd stop in there and give him suggestions of how to run his business because he says, I got great. I'm like, you got to put some blue. Anyways, talking to him all the time. So he stops paying his rent. Like, he's not bringing any money in. So I give him an eviction notice, and then, he comes up with the money, and then he pays me for a couple of months and then stops paying me. Now, essentially, since I closed on the property, he's got these businesses up for sale. So he's really just trying to get his money back of, what he's put into it. So one sale's going to go through, falls through at the last minute. So technically, he should have been evicted. He had another buyer on the table. So I'm weighing it and I'm thinking, what can I do about this? So I had my paralegal drop minutes of settlement, sent it to his lawyer so that on the closing of the sale, I got all the arrears that he owed me, paid the legal costs.
Or he wouldn't have been able to sell the
business. He wouldn't, I would have evicted him and not signed a new lease. So I had a new lease drafted because the old lease was ridiculous, like it was handwritten. So I had a new official lease drafted and increased the rent. I said, I'm not, letting you sublet that. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. So on closing, I got all the arrears. I got all my legal costs paid plus some extra little things. And I got first and last month's rent from the new tenants and zero downtime.
Wow.
And I vetted the new tenant, right? So somebody coming in, he owns a large trucking company. He's just setting these up for his brother. So a lot of money behind him. So it's not going to be an issue, and he has a business sense and a business background. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So what are the things that you want people to watch out for when they're entering commercial, retail kind of real estate? It's a little bit different than the tenants, like regular residential real estate,
right?
So what would you say now that you have this experience? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give people?
To interview them, ask what their business plan is. I have a business background, right? Yeah. So ask what their business plan is. Ask what the resources are.
Well, I'm talking more in terms of buying an asset like this.
Oh, buying an asset. What should
someone know going into it now that you have this experience?
Yeah,
right.
Check out the leases that are in place. Number one. Yeah. And learn about the commercial tenants that are in there. Because commercial tenants are a whole different animal, right? And they come and they go, and the businesses close, and what's the national averages of businesses making beyond the first 5 years? It's very low, right? So,
especially I would say the location.
Absolutely.
It should be like a public or like a
parking,
high traffic location.
Yeah. So
what would you do differently?
Than what I did?
Well, in terms of next time, if you would ever look at a building with a commercial element or a retail element to it.
I don't know if I would go mixed use again, right?
So this is like a one and done.
I think so. I think so. Because now I have more knowledge, right?
Yeah. There is some benefits, like the triple net rents. That always intrigued me, right?
Yes.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
You're not responsible for anything, right?
Right.
Those are things that are exciting. On the downside, I would say that the vacancy can be challenging because if a commercial unit becomes vacant, we don't know if someone's going to be there right away, because ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes to residential real estate, someone will always have to live somewhere.
Right.
People don't always need brick and mortar to start a business.
Well,
right?
and especially now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So those are interesting perspectives, but I'm glad it's working out, and I'm glad you got good, solid tenants, and you've done incredibly well, and you've mastered this creative financing, and you just know how to get in there, right? And ask the right questions and the proper discoveries, and it's just incredible. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Learning inspires me.
Love it.
I just always love to expand my mind. Being around like-minded, right, really inspires me. I get so much energy from it. And I'm creative, right? That's my background. Thinking outside the box, but balance and flow and texture and all those kind of things from my doing hair background. So I bring that into real estate investing as well.
I love it. And you're definitely passionate about that. And I could see you kind of, getting crazy about the colors and the renovations and stuff. So did you do your own renovations?
Well, I designed them.
Okay, you designed them.
Yeah, I had a general contractor.
And you like that part of it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Like I can go in and see the flow and see, and I understand the electrical and the plumbing. And I used to do a lot more hands-on myself, but now I'm just like, no, I don't want, but yeah, I pick the colors, I pick the lights and, knock out this wall and do that and all those kind of things. Like I really have a good eye for it.
Jan, thank you so much for coming on the show. They're going to find all your information on the show notes down below. What is a quote that you live by?
Couple. So, as I was raising my daughters, I always told them there's no such thing as can't.
I love that.
Right? The word can't wasn't allowed in our house. And one of my favorite sayings, I guess, there's a picture and I post it every once in a while repost it every once in a while on my social media. And it's a little girl saying, she's got wings on and it says, "What if I fall?" And the response is, "But what if you fly?"
Woo! I love that. I love that. Beautiful show, Motivational Mondays. By the way, I've been a guest on it, so thank you very much.
You were uploaded to YouTube. Yeah.
Let's give them the YouTube channel. How can they find you?
Investing with Jan.
Investing with Jan.
Yeah.
Love the title. They'll be able to find all your information down below. Thank you so much. Love you and love your laugh. And our audience are gonna learn a lot from this episode, guys. Thank you so much. That's the show. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you all at the top. Woo! Woo! Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Genius Podcast, presented in part by Expand Investor Conference, December 13th to 15th at Weston Harbor Castle, Toronto. Get your tickets now at wealthgenius.ai/expand. If you have a question or comment about something you heard today, reach out to the Godfather via social media or email him anytime. All that information is in the show notes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Wealth Genius Podcast. The Wealth Genius Podcast. Until next time, see you at the top.